Okay, so, wow. Anyone else still thinking about that fight?
You know which one I mean, right?
Yeah, Garp and Aokiji throwing down. We have to deep dive into this.
Absolutely.
So much to unpack, but luckily, we've got some awesome analysis to help us out.
Definitely helps to make sense of it all because this isn't just about who's stronger.
Right. It's about, I don't know, it's like the whole foundation of the One Piece world kind of shaking.
Exactly. It gets you thinking, what does justice really even mean?
Okay, so before we get too deep, let's remind everyone who we're dealing with here. We've got Garp, the hero of the Marines. The guy's a legend.
Right. Raw strength, totally devoted to justice, classic Marine, right?
But, like, what kind of justice are we talking about here?
This is where it gets interesting. The analysis calls it absolute justice. It's all about upholding the law no matter what. There's this crazy story in there. Apparently, Garp once had to choose between his duty and a close friend.
Wow.
He chose duty. Just shows you how seriously he takes this whole black and white view of justice, no wiggle room.
Yeah, so intense. Okay, now Aokiji is a strong Marine too, obviously. But he's like,
Totally different. He's definitely got the power, but there's this sense of, I don't know, compassion. He doesn't always follow the rules exactly, especially if he thinks there's a better way.
he's willing to bend a little if it means doing the right thing.
Exactly. He's all about looking at the bigger picture, considering all sides. The analysis even mentions Aokiji letting a pirate go free once.
Seriously, why would he do that?
He thought it was the right thing to do in that situation. Obviously, that didn't go over well with everyone. Really shook things up in the Marines.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, so we've got Garp, absolute justice, no compromises, versus Aokiji, more flexible, sees the gray areas.
Yeah, and this clash of ideas, it's reflected in their fighting styles, too. The analysis describes Garp's attacks as volcanic, pure power, no holding back.
Makes sense? If you believe in absolute justice, you probably fight that way too.
Exactly. Then you have Aokiji, who's described as tactical and controlled. He's using his ice powers really strategically, always thinking a few steps ahead.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like Garp's a force of nature, just erupting, and Aokiji's carefully planning his moves, controlling the battlefield.
Perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
But then there's another layer to this fight, something that makes it even more intense.
Yeah, the fact that they know each other. This isn't just a random encounter. These guys have history.
Right. The analysis really emphasizes their shared past. They trained together, fought side by side. They probably even respected each other at one point.
Right. So it's not just a difference of opinion. It's like personal. You're fighting someone you probably considered a friend.
Exactly. That adds a whole new level of emotional weight to the fight. Imagine having to face someone you trust because you disagree with them so fundamentally.
Yeah, that would tear you apart.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think, does anyone really win in a situation like this?
And on top of all that, this fight has huge implications for the whole One Piece world. This isn't just about Garp and Aokiji anymore.
Right. It's about the entire structure of the Marines, about authority, about who gets to decide what justice is.
Exactly. Garp represents the old way, the traditional Marines, following the world government without question. Aokiji challenging that, actually leaving the Marines?
It's a turning point. Makes you wonder what it even means to be a Marine anymore. Where do your loyalties lie?
And this is where things get even more interesting. Because Aokiji leaving, it could shift the balance of power in the whole world. The Marines aren't as unified, which could affect their fight against the pirates.
Whoa, okay. So this fight, it's symbolic of this whole struggle between the old way and the new way. The Marines are facing some serious internal conflicts, and it could change everything.
And even beyond the One Piece world, this whole thing makes you think about your own ideas of justice. Is it always black and white? Are there times when breaking the rules is actually the right thing to do?
Wow, yeah, I never thought of it like that. So basically, this fight between Garp and Aokiji is like forcing us to confront some really tough questions.
Exactly.
Okay, let's try to sum this up because my head's spinning a bit. We've got these two incredible Marines, both powerful, both believe in justice, but have completely different ways of seeing it.
Right, and their fight, it's a clash of personalities, philosophies, but also it represents this huge change happening within the Marines. Aokiji challenging the system, leaving, it could have major consequences for the future of the One Piece world.
And it makes us question what justice really means, not just in One Piece, but in our own lives.
It's a lot to consider, so next time you watch that fight, think about it. If even these legendary figures struggle with these questions, what does that mean for us? Where do we draw the line? Are there any easy answers?
Wow, I think I need to go rewatch that fight right now.
Yeah,
Thanks for diving deep with us.
anytime.